So, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me, brother.
All right, so we've got my mate Lockie here.
How you going, guys?
Now if you give the people a bit of a background on yourself and bit of an introduction.
Well, I'm Lachlan Wilcox. I've been a good old mate of Josh here for about 16, 17 years now. I'm a 35-year-old dad, into tattoos, into all things like that. I was born in 1991 in Tamworth, Australia, and I was born into a Mormon family. I have 7 brothers and sisters, so it's a pretty large family.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, mum and dad had a hectic lifestyle for 20-odd years.
I didn't realise you were born in Tamworth.
Yeah, no, I was born in Tamworth, man. I moved to Queensland. I lived in Caboolture, I think for about the first 4 years. So I was in Tamworth for a little bit, maybe a year or so. And then my dad got a job up in Queensland, so I ended up moving to Caboolture there. I have like faint memories of kind of living in like a rainforest type setting. That's just the flashbacks that I'm getting. But yeah, it was Caboolture, and then we ended up...
Where's Caboolture, sorry?
Queensland.
No, like...
I'm geographically challenged, mate.
If it's north, south...
Dude, I don't even know where north is south here.
Oh, fair, yeah.
Like I did not pay attention in geography at all. But yeah, I was in Queensland, Caboolture. From those in Caboolture, you know where it is. But and then we moved to Sydney right around when I was 5. So it would have been 1996. And then started living in Sydney, been here ever since.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess bit of your background, like growing up in a Mormon household.
Oh yeah. So it's interesting, right? Because like I've got Irish descent. If you can't tell, I got red hair and whatnot. But yeah, growing up Mormon was good in some aspects. It was challenging in others. I've always got an argumentative side to me where I kind of challenge things that I'm being told. I'm not really one to assimilate into a core belief unless I believe it myself, But there were good aspects of it as well, like they're very charitable. We always go, like I spent, most of my childhood on my weekends. I didn't really, obviously when I was older, I went out and hung out with friends, but really the core development years, I was out helping other families of the church, going around doing what we call service activities. Could be as simple as mowing a lawn or baking a dinner for somebody who's going through a bit of a rough patch. So I mean, it's great for that. Very tight-knit family community as well. Okay. I mean, they're big believers in having large families as well. And anyone that knows someone that's Mormon, there's a standard size family is 5 kids.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I went to church with someone that had 15.
Shit.
But they had 15 because he had 14 girls and he really wanted that boy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he's borderline got a footy team. But like it was interesting. Like I couldn't go out. The one thing I definitely remember as being a kid that kind of bummed me out a lot is I could never, ever go to a birthday party if it was on Sunday.
Because you had church.
And that probably started my defiance to the whole thing, to be honest, because being 6, 7, 8 years old and all the kids are talking about how cool the party was and they're kind of being that outcast that didn't get to go or experience in it, that started the whole thing where I started questioning things. And
so what age do you reckon you were when you started questioning the
maybe 6
religion?
or 7.
6, wow.
Yeah, I've always been a bit of a smart aleck, like talking back kind of thing. So it was around there, and a lot of the answers that were given to me at the time was just, is just take it on faith, which I understand. That's the core of any religion is your faith and stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, like that was my childhood essentially. Just up until I started going to high school, where things started being what they call inactive, not going all too much, but doing naughty things. Running around, drinking. Started.
What age do you reckon you stopped fully going to church? And
I was 18 because I was still living with my parents. So I had the choice when I was 18 where I could say that I didn't want to go anymore. So pretty much as soon as I turned 18, I just said that I was stopping going.
I think when we met you, you weren't going.
Yeah, that's right. Because we met when I was about 18?
18.
Yeah, it was about 17 years ago. Yeah, 18. And I that conversation with mum was difficult because obviously you love your parents and your mum very much, but I could still see it in her eyes when I told her I didn't want to go anymore. And it wasn't just like a 1 or 2 week thing. It was like a year where every Sunday she would come in and ask, am I going to church? And I'd have to say no. So it was like 52 times.
Wow, yeah.
Where,
she was relentless.
Well, she's Irish as well. She's just as stubborn as I am, But yeah, no, it all works well. Like my core belief system now, just be as good to other people as you want them to be good to you, and you'll do all right in life.
So you still held those core beliefs?
Yeah, like I still help people as much as I can, sometimes to a detriment, It's just deeply ingrained in me. I live as much as a Mormon lifestyle without being Mormon as I can.
That's it, yeah. So it's, definitely still a part of your life. Like even though
like my personality is like, I suppose that I have Mormon aspects to me, which will never go away because you spent 18 years doing your life, especially your developmental years. It's going to stay with you, right?
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. So being Mormon, are they normally strict? Like, is it like a normal rules?
It's
like can't do this, can't do that, or is it pretty lax?
Like I used to think it was strict, but then I watched that TV show, World's Strictest Parents, and I was like, geez, we had it pretty easy.
Pretty good.
Yeah. But it's strict in the sense that, like, we obviously have a belief system. There's no drinking, there's no alcohol, there's no sex before marriage, things like that. Pretty standard things. In religions. But as a kid, those things all seems really fun.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah. And I think there's a disparity between the effects that it can have on you long term is if you're withheld something. When you finally get to indulge in that thing, you go hell bent for leather, mate.
That's right. So like when I was a kid, 16, like we were kind of allowed to like drink a little bit, whatever.
Yeah, and then it wasn't like this hidden commodity.
Exactly. So by the time we hit 18, it wasn't like a massive deal.
Yeah.
We still had fun, but it wasn't. Yeah.
First time I drank alcohol, mate, I was like 12.
Yeah.
Right? And it was, I still remember the first alcoholic beverage I ever had was, I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called chartreuse.
What is it again?
It's a liqueur that's made from a tree bark, from memory. I just remember it being green.
Yeah, okay, the bottle's green.
No experience with alcohol whatsoever. Didn't know what you were supposed to mix it with. So we thought, chocolate milk.
No.
It's delicious, right? So we was like, fuck, let's mix it with chocolate milk. It was horrendous.
Yeah.
But then, when you remember that first drink that you have, you're like, oh, this is naughty, you're not supposed to do it. And then that kind of like, that little buzz that you get where it's kind of like you get warm and then your inhibitions go away. And then next thing you know, you're dancing around to the Amsterdam song back in 2000, when that was a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then, it because it was so like frowned upon.
Yes, yeah.
Or like a sin, I suppose.
That was you being rebellious.
Yeah, and then you just attack it hard. You had no control mechanisms to say, all right, this is the standard amount, because there's no education in it, what a standard drink was, what it does, and all this. You just know that I'm not allowed to have it, so if I have it, and if you have a personality like mine, I'm riddled with ADHD, so I seek out fun.
Yes.
And with that was something that that was a core memory of mine the first time I did that. And I remember too, because I was so wrought with guilt after it, obviously being raised, like I was like the picturesque Mormon kid.
Yes.
Like I remember being 14 and outside of church one day just waiting for my mum and dad to come to the car. And there was this random guy that came past, and like in 40 minutes I converted this dude to Mormonism.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
and I think I must have been between 12 or 14. I can't remember how old I was. This random dude asking me questions from the street, and the next couple of Sundays there, he's at church.
Wow, you converted someone.
Yeah. I don't know if he's still there. I didn't really keep tabs on him after I left, but there was ambitions for my family to be, the first boy to take his mission.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't know, like in the Mormon religion, there's this thing called a mission. It's not really mandatory, but it's something that's really highly regarded if you do it, and that's when you turn 18, you get called to serve. You don't get to choose where you go. You can go anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Obviously not
North Korea. The church makes the decision?
The church does, yeah. So,
so you go to them and say, I'm prepared to take a mission?
Yeah, like you submit your papers, which is your intent to serve, and then there's an indeterminate amount of time after that in which you receive an envelope, and it's a really big thing. It's almost like what an American family would consider waiting to see what university you're going to go to. Like There's this big celebration where usually there's a party. You've got the letter, and then you open it with your immediate family, and then you see where you're going. And then,
that's pretty cool.
And then that's where you go. I believe women have to do 18 months, men have to do 2 years. And then after that, that's when most boys will either get into the workforce, go to university, But yeah, I didn't ever make that part.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so growing up in a Mormon household, pretty crazy, and then as you grew up, you entered the workforce. Like, what was your...
Yeah, so it's actually how we met. But like when I first left high school, I wanted to be a rock star, right? Like I loved heavy metal music. I loved guitar, and I grew up with friends of mine that ended up becoming musicians, like Alessandro and stuff, and they were absolute shredders on the guitar. And I always wanted to teach myself an instrument because it just seemed cool. I remember, I think it was year 7, year 8. I was in music, and Alessandro had a proclivity towards piano. He'd been playing piano when he was young. He was really good.
I didn't realize he was a pianist.
Yeah, he started off as a piano player, and then he kind of, for those in the music industry, piano to guitar, it's a relatively easy conversion. It's you're used to having your fingers spaced out. There's some recognition of prior learning that translates well to guitar. So when he started playing guitar, I was like, I want to play guitar because I want to be able to play songs that I hear in my head.
Yeah.
So I got an acoustic guitar, and I remember the first day I was at home, my dad came in. He's like, "What the heck is that noise?" And then I was like, "Oh, I'm just trying to practice the G. Just practice the G chord, mate. Doing my best here." And he's like, "Well, there's a lot of work to do." And then there's a lot of work to do. It was at that moment where I was like, I've got to get a little bit better at guitar. So I spent years just in my room, not really doing any kind of practical learning, just playing sounds until I thought in my head they sounded good.
Right, yes.
And around the 16, 17, that's when I started actively seeking bands and whatnot. I still remember there was this band. They were like this hardcore emo, I don't know, like, well, I'm not really good with like band names,
genres
and stuff, but like those, you'd imagine like the long black hair half covering a man's eye and stuff. Those like the emo
typical
bands.
2009.
Yeah, not really my taste of music, but I really wanted to get into the scene so bad. I was just throwing my application out anywhere.
Yep.
And I had my first kind of like band interview.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get the position at all. Because I'm going into this emo metal band and I'm playing like melodic deathcore.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, this isn't really our scene." And then I just kept trying, and that's when I found Zach.
Yes, that's when we met.
And then I found you, and then started doing the band thing. And we did that, I swear, it felt like we did that for about 8 years.
We did it for quite a while. Every weekend we were practicing.
Every weekend,
we were getting together, writing music. Or going to shows too. Yeah.
But if you're in the music scene, it's not something that it funds your lifestyle straight off the bat. So obviously I need to get some type of work.
Yes.
So I don't know if you know this, I was actually a pastry chef.
Yeah, no.
It's kind of like an inside joke.
An inside joke, that one?
Yeah. Because every chance I get, I try to drop that I was an ex-pastry chef. It kind of, it describes why I have this physique, but...
Oh, Steph working for Bunnings.
Yeah, that's right. But I started folding boxes just at this local Italian patisserie. I actually got the job through church because the lady that owned it, she went to church and she was looking just for a casual box folder. Yeah. So I literally just started work. I think I was like 13. Don't know if it's legal or whatever, but I was doing it.
You were doing it?
I started on like $6 an hour.
Yeah.
I was literally just folding those white boxes that you see cakes and stuff be held in.
Crazy.
Yeah, and then I eventually, I think it was around 16.
When they put you on the tools?
Yeah, on the tools, the piping bags and stuff. And then I found my way into the kitchen and learned how to follow a recipe. It's just a process, and it seems pretty easy enough to do. After a million times getting burnt and whatnot, I was considering doing pastry work.
Right, yeah.
But the pay wasn't that great. I've always had this thing where like most people, I enjoy money.
Exactly.
And it just seemed like such a long path in order to get to where I wanted to be. For my financial situation, because like I said, I started on $6, and I think when I was 17, I was on like $7.20.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Slave labor.
It was so low money that when I actually turned 18, I remember my first tax return. I believe I got something like $1. I can't remember the exact figure, but it was something ridiculous. Because when you're 18, I believe your first tax return, you get 100% of it back.
You're supposed to get everything back, correct?
Yeah, and it was, if it wasn't $1, it was like $10. It was something silly.
Wow.
Because I was on such a low rate of pay, and it was like early 2000 and it would have been 2006 2007.
Yeah, wow.
No, 2009. Yeah, because I was born 1991. But yeah, I worked out very quickly that wasn't what I was going to want to do. So I started putting the feelers out, and I found myself in like factory work.
Correct, yeah.
So I went from there to a job working for a company called OSI International Foods. They're the manufacturers of McDonald's meat patties.
Yes.
That was it's an amazing job. It was the first time that I felt like the people that I was working with were like an extended family. We all used to go out and party together, and it was a real tight-knit group. And I did that for about, I want to say about 7 years or so.
You did? That's, yeah.
Yeah. After that, they ended up, due to transport costs, they did an ROI and realised it was better to operate out of Queensland. Right. So they shifted operations there.
Oh, so they're no longer in New South Wales?
No, they're still around. Like,
yeah.
They still do what they do, but they just they've changed locations to Queensland because that's where a lot of the beef is.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And for those wondering, yes, it's 100% Australian beef. I can attest to that. Whatever you're eating, it's top notch stuff. You can argue me all you want, but I literally work for the company that did it. It's great. It's great stuff.
We used to question it all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. We questioning what's in these patties.
I was popular at barbecues because I used to be able to buy a quarter pounder patties.
We get 100 patties.
Yeah.
Was it 100? Or was it?
It was 50 for the quarter pounders. Yeah.
How much was that? How much did we pay back in the day?
I think I was paying like $1 a patty.
Yeah.
It could have even been less. And for those in the business that work at McDonald's, the 10 to 1s, 4 to 1, and 3 to 1. You know what I'm talking about. Right? Yeah, those are so 3 to 1's the Angus, 4 to 1's quarter pounders, and 10 to 1's the cheeseburger patties.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, when that job left, I was devastated because I think I went from when I left the bakery, I was on $10 an hour. And I left because I asked for $1 raise.
Wow, yeah.
And they said you have to work for it. And I was like, I thought that's what I was doing.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
And if you've been in the hospitality business, the hours that you're doing they're hard. It's like, I think I was doing 9 to 9 or whatever it was. It's 12-hour stints.
Yeah.
Of which there's no breaks. It's 12 hours on your feet. So it's like, enough of that. I want to go to a more higher paying job. Found myself at OSI.
Yeah.
That left. And then I think it was actually your mum got me my fill-in job interim at the first Costco that opened in Auburn.
Correct, yes.
And that was when I first felt that I had leadership qualities, right? Because if you, I don't know if anyone watching this was there for the opening, but it was insane.
Yeah, it was.
First time Costco was on our shore, and just
so that was the first Costco in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe definitely the first in Sydney, but I think it was the first.
Pretty
in the
sure
country.
it was the first. Yeah.
And I want to say that was around 2013, 2014. Again, could be out by a year or two, but yeah, it was on Parramatta Road, and the queue of people. I mean, there must have been 1,000, 2,000 people queuing to get their membership.
You were the what were like managing.
I was like coordinating the membership part of it.
That's right.
Because I was there. I think a first couple of days leading up to it, just getting the stock shelves ready and stuff. But then on launch day, they needed casuals to come in and coordinate the traffic in order to streamline the membership process, because you have to have a membership before you could get in.
That's right.
And being an American company, which Australians don't understand, you can't actually go into the store until you have a membership.
Yes.
The amount of arguments. So I was getting paid to well, not necessarily argue, but explain to somebody that was quite annoyed why they couldn't go in and see before they committed to the purchase. So it's like kind of learning your negotiating skills there and trying to explain a company's logic to somebody else so that they understood it and be like, oh, fair enough,
And how long did you do that for?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks, yeah. And then my brother was working as a pick packer for a cold storage company. And then when I heard the rate of pay that they got, I was like, that's astronomical.
Yeah.
There's no way that I'm going to be able to get into this job. So I just flicked my resume over, and next thing I know, I'm getting interviewed for a pick packing job. And they asked me in the interview, have I pick packed before? And I extended the truth a little bit and said that I had.
Yes, yeah.
Because I was picking up meat patties from a conveyor belt and packing them into a box.
Well, one would assume that's... Yeah.
Yeah, and when they were asking me all these questions, I just thought on my feet. And long story short, I was able to get in and get a job at this cold storage facility as a pick packer. No, it's quite cold. It's an environment that I was never used to. But I like the cold. Being a larger person, I don't like.
He
the
does.
heat.
He loves the cold. He's always in shorts.
I love the cold.
He's in
There's
shorts now.
photos of me in Europe in thongs and a t-shirt and pair of pants in the snow. I love it. It's not a lie.
And you worked your way up.
Yeah. Like I worked my way up. Like obviously anything that I do, I try to do the best that I can at it. And I started as a pickpacker and was very like always accepting shifts. Now that obviously that was financially driven. I wanted to accumulate a paycheck in which I could live a lifestyle in which I'd always envisioned as a kid. Because I grew up loving people like Warren Buffett.
Yes.
At 6, 7 years old, reading about Warren Buffett, and all these kids don't even know what a billionaire is.
Exactly, yeah.
Don't necessarily have the smarts to really, or the attention span for that matter, to get into stocks and read in the financial reports. So I knew that I was going to have to be a worker. I started as a casual picker, found my way onto high reach forklifting, and then eventually after a few years, learnt everything that I could on the floor. And I was given an opportunity to be trialed as a dock manager, which I took.
Yep.
And I've been doing it ever since. I've been in management now for 4 years.
Yeah, killing it.
Yeah, it's always a learning experience for anyone that knows. Management is it's a challenging role, but it's a rewarding one because it teaches you a lot. And it's made me a better man. It's made me more patient and understanding, and able to think logically to find solutions to things in which you thought you weren't going to be able to.
Yeah, great, insane.
Yeah.
So you work in LDR, long distance relationship.
Yeah. So some people might consider me a passport bro. I don't. I'm kind of a like don't believe me, just watch kind of guy. Because I spent so much of my 20s really focusing on getting my career sorted up, I really wasn't dating all too much.
Yeah.
Probably helped that I was a ginger as well. That's just very hard to find a woman that's interested in a ginger. But no, all jokes aside, like I just, that wasn't something that I was focused on, nor was really bothered by it. I didn't think that I needed somebody.
Yeah. You're so focused on work and everything else.
And I was generally happy. I was surrounded by you, your brother, my brother. Like I had good people around me that I never really felt lonely. But obviously when you get a little bit older in age, you start, wanting that connection with another person, like a partner. And then also I always had dreams of being a father as well. That was a really big thing for me.
Actually, ever since we knew him, you'd always talk about I can't wait to be
well, I mean, I don't know if it's because I was in a family of seven brothers and sisters, but I was always surrounded by kids, and I really, the Mormon aspect plays into it as well, because they always ask you what you want to be when you get older and stuff. And my answer would always be a father, and that was genuine. I always did want to, lead a future generation into the world and have that experience. So because I was working all the time and, I just wasn't, I'm really good at formulating sentences if I have the chance to think about them.
Yes, yeah.
Because with my ADHD brain, I have talked my way out of more women's pants than I ever have in. That's just the fact. I am my own perpetual cock blocker. Right?
Yes.
You've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You've seen it.
Yeah.
I am completely, bluntly unaware that a woman is into me until she is quite clearly definitely not.
There was that cake story.
No idea. Like, this completely oblivious, mate.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
So a friend of mine that I was working with at the time at the cold storage place, he was saying, he was from the Philippines. And he invited me on a trip to the Philippines with him. And I was young, I had money, expendable income to like say, what the hell, I'll go. I'd love to go to another country. Up until that point, I'd only ever been to Thailand. And that was just because, international travel was never on my bingo card. I only went into it because the vocalist of the band at the time, he was really big. His family was all really traveling. Big into travel. Like every other couple of months, they'll go on a trip somewhere. And then I heard about that. I was like, oh yeah, that would be cool. Experience another culture, another, lifestyle that I haven't seen. So when he asked, I was like, sure, I'll go to the Philippines. And then I booked my tickets and he said, hey, I don't know if you know, but there's a lot of women over there that love foreigners. And I said, okay, that sounds interesting. So I ended up jumping on a dating app. I think it was Filipino Cupid or something. Completely unaware of all the pitfalls that's involved with online dating.
So there was no warning about what you could potentially run into, or
no? I was just hopefully allowing my ability to see red flags guide my way.
Yes.
And I was able to acquire somebody that was interested in meeting me when I was there. And then I went there and then I left with a international girlfriend, right? This was all pre-COVID, by the way. I think it was.
Yeah, it was, yes.
20, geez, I want to say it was like 2017, 2018.
Well, a couple of years before, yeah.
I want to say it was 2017. And then, I was from that point, I was in a long-distance relationship. It's a peculiar thing to be in because most people in relationships are used to being able to see their partner at the drop of a hat, With LDR, it's obviously different. There's a C split in use.
Yes.
Challenges in the sense that, it's just not a standard way to do a relationship. It's not even something that I would recommend for the faint of hearted because it's you have to have a lot of resilience and belief and trust in yourself and in your partner.
I was just about to say
in this generation, people have issues even if the person lives a few suburbs away. It's just it is difficult. And I would say that the vast majority of LDRs fail. Vast majority.
Right.
That's just the fact of the matter is there's a lot of disingenuous individuals that will engage in it to get a passport and things like that, and it goes negatively. That's just the reality of life. When you go to like a country that has versions of poverty that we don't experience here.
Well, we couldn't fathom it.
Yeah, you couldn't fathom it. Then you might see why people would find any means, even if it means hurting another, to get out of that. So I knew all of this going in, and obviously I like to do a little bit of research, not too much because it's boring. Kind of just dive in head first, kind of knowing where you're going to land, but you don't exactly know.
That's right.
So I did that. I was in that for about 2 years, and then it was just there was a conflict of personalities. Like I'm a very free go loving person and I don't like too much regimen, and there was a religious aspect that was starting to come in because my ex, I should say, at the time was quite religious, and it wasn't really melding well.
Right, yeah.
So and then the final thing in the coffin, so to speak, was COVID hit, and then there was not an option and there was no end of sight.
No, there wasn't.
No, so pretty much and it was ironic too because the last time I was in the Philippines to see that said person, ex, I flew back and a week later shut down.
Right.
Yeah, and then it was very shortly after that that things ended.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. And then I didn't think about relationship, but just locked into work. Started, at the time I was doing 6 days, 10 to 12 hour shifts.
Were we living together at that point? Or was that?
Yeah, I believe, we were.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were living together and you saw, I just jumped straight back into work. Didn't really think to engage in the dating market here because again, there's just some people out there that just generally aren't phased if they're alone. I'm an avid gamer. I get just as much enjoyment playing video games as I do hanging out with people.
Yeah.
So it was only, I think, after COVID had ended that I was like, you know what?
Let's try again.
Let's try again, but this time let's get the job done.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's when I met my beautiful wife, Michelle.
Yeah.
And I went back to the Philippines and I met her. And we kicked it off. You've met her. She's an absolute wild card, beautiful person, great personality, very sweet.
I think your personalities match actually.
Yeah, we do.
She doesn't take shit either.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't.
She's
mate.
only like 4 foot.
She's 4'10", scares the crap out of me. But I love her dearly.
Yes.
She grew up with 2 brothers. And usually girls that grew up with 2 brothers know how to give as much as they take, and vice versa.
That's right.
Yeah, no, she's a great person, and.
Then how long were you guys together before you started talking about, marriage, kids?
It's a few months because we started talking in December of 2021 and it was Valentine's Day where we made it official of 2022. Well, as official as you can in a long distance. It's a peculiar thing to state official when we're not together all the time, but we committed, I suppose, without sounding cringy, our hearts to one another at that time, and I just remember on February 22nd, she was saying something and then said, I love you in there, and then I said it back, and then she thought that I was joking because she tried to pass off like she was joking when she said it,
yeah,
and then because I'm just like, nah, I'm cool. I'm fine with saying that.
Yeah.
And then progressed to Valentine's Day, and it was official. But yeah, when is Valentine's Day?
14th of February.
I suppose.
I
Okay,
think.
we must not have been official because I'm just saying all this stuff, and I was like, Valentine's Day is in February.
I'm pretty sure it is that. Yeah.
So I remember getting her roses and like a surprise thing on Valentine's Day. And then, sorry, on February 22nd, that's when it was official.
Yeah.
I apologize, got my dates wrong. But, and then, I visited her as much as I could. I've been over there twice. And the first time I spent just shy of 3 weeks.
That's really up.
Kicked it off, and it was one of the most memorable. It is the most memorable trip I've ever had. There was the connection was finalized really in that trip, and then ever since we've always been in constant communication with one another. The difficult part of an LDR is closing the gap. As
Right.
you know, it's
So when was that distinction? When did you like? Okay, I like this lady.
well. We had discussed, what the future had looked like, knowing that we did love each other, but then obviously we're from two different countries. How are we gonna facilitate that? Is that gonna entail me moving to the Philippines or her moving here? Because of the job that I had, and kind of being financially stable, it seemed logical for her to come here. But she was still in uni at the time, doing her business degree.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I do.
So there was about a year, from the time that I met her to the time that she was finishing was a year and a half.
Yes.
So I always knew that the runtime was at least a year and a half.
Yeah.
Right. So it was my job to make sure that once the date was chosen, I could action it as quickly as I could. So yeah, she finished university. I flew over for her graduation.
Yes, I do remember that.
Spent a month there, and kind of discussed with the parents are they happy with the future of her child being with me?
Yeah.
And I have the added benefit. Two of her aunties already live in Australia.
Yes.
Lovely women. They live in Adelaide with their husbands. And they really backed me. They also, in that final trip before I brought Michelle back, they were kind of giving me the not the shakedown, that's the wrong word, but they were just making sure I was being genuine because and I knew that I was, so I didn't mind answering any questions.
Well, you had nothing to hide.
Yeah,
so,
I had nothing to hide, just answered it honestly. And I was given permission and their grace to bring their daughter back, and I did. And from there, things have gone very quickly. We got married last year. Maverick was born in 2024, so I had my son. So pretty much from 2021 to 2026,
it's been
LDR, marriage, child.
Yeah, wow.
Discussing baby number 2. So it can happen, but there's pitfalls. So if you want to engage in something like that, not all past bros are people that can't get girlfriends and stuff. Maybe they're not great face to face the first time, but they might need that like kind of distance in order to get that buffer to get their words out, which is I suppose true in my case, but it works for some, doesn't for others. But yeah, it is risky.
It is, yeah,
it is
100%.
risky.
But and then you've also got the the hurdles you got to jump through in order to get them into the country.
Yeah,
visas, all that. Like how
you got to be comfortable with hardship.
Yeah.
You've got to be very comfortable with hardship.
Like, was there interviews you had to do to prove that you were a legit couple?
Not necessarily interviews like that. That was more of an old school method, but I know that definitely can be. Like, there can be interviews.
Yeah.
But that's, I'm not a professional in this field. My wife did all the visa application process. I'm not good with paperwork, but no, there can be interviews, but I would believe that they would be reserved for those that they're concerned that the relationship is genuine.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's like probably reserved for people that have met 1 week and next week they're all in love,
right?
Want to get married. That does set off alarm bells, because that can happen. But no, it was for us. It was as relatively straightforward as it could be.
Yeah.
Because we had all the evidence there. We weren't shy from sharing our lives with one another. My family met her the day she came here, and vice versa. And there's endless photos and things together.
That's right.
So no, it's easy if it's a lot easier if you are genuine, that's for sure. I wouldn't know what the other case looks like, but yeah, it is challenging. It's quite expensive. It does go up, I believe, about $500, circa $500 per year, year on year.
Yeah.
So just in the time frame of when I met Michelle to she was here with me full time, it gone up, I think, nearly $1,500.
Wow.
So it's a big pay chunk. So you need to be able to facilitate that.
That's right. And then you need to prove that you can financially support.
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm very fortunate in my situation, just being in the industry that I am, and my remuneration. I was able to get that across the line.
Yeah. Awesome. And now fatherhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
the wildest ride of them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So when you found out, like when you found out that she was pregnant?
I found out my wife was pregnant when I was at work during peak season.
Right. So busy.
Yeah. So for anyone in logistics, they call it silly season. It's a lot coming in, a lot going out. Get it done. Obviously, being a manager of that, a lot of moving parts. But I remember I was dealing with something at work, coordinating that aspect to make sure we met our target by the end of the night, and then getting a random call. Wasn't able to answer it the first time.
Right.
Well, yeah, because your wife will call you from time to time. You don't always think the world's ending.
You're like, we can.
I was like, not knowingly. Like, I suppose I was knowingly ignoring the call, but like I was prioritizing, right?
That's
and that's
right,
what you're supposed to do as a manager. Prioritize most important. After like the fourth or fifth time within a span of a couple of minutes, like,
she called.
Yeah.
A few times, yeah.
Yeah, I finally answered it, and I apologize, babe. I didn't know.
Sorry, Michelle.
She said, I've taken a pregnancy test and it's positive. And I was like, okay. Are you sure? Are you sure it's like positive? And she's like, pretty sure. I'm like, well, send me a photo of the stick.
Yeah.
And then and I was like, but it'll be fine. It's okay. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Like
we'll figure it out.
This was always going to be a part of, being together. So it'll be fine. Just relax and we'll deal with it as it comes. And she sent me the photo. I'm like, oh, yeah, she's pregnant, mate. Yeah, that's very, very specific lines on there.
Yeah.
And then I think she went through like a box of 10.
Oh, just to really...
Yeah, I think anyone that, has their first kid, you really want to make sure.
Oh, we did too. Yeah, Steph did that,
And, yeah, so it was confirmed that she was pregnant. And then obviously we dived into being ready within 9 months to facilitate the introduction of an additional member to our family.
Yeah. Did you guys already have your own place at that point?
Yeah. So you
were living with us for a bit.
Yeah.
Like we're all living together.
Yeah.
And then you.
Yeah, because one of the things that I promised both her aunties and her mothers was that I'd have like our own space when she moved over. So someone coming from an international country, she only knows me. Let's get our own space together and start doing that whole relationship thing, which is what most couples end up doing.
That's right.
They all live together after a while. So yeah, I had my own place. I was renting my own place. So yeah, that part was already sorted. It was just everything, pregnancies, like at the first thing, it's like the excitement and all that. And it is exciting. It's exciting through the whole process. But then as pregnancy progresses, women get more tired.
Yep.
They get more agitated. The morning sickness.
Yep.
The demanding of only Swedish meatballs will crave my appetite.
I'd ring Lachlan and then I'll be like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just out fetching stuff for Michelle. She requested this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go get it.
Yeah, like having an hour before you have to go to work and then apparently need to go to IKEA to get Swedish meatballs. I mean, you do it.
You do it, yes.
And I would advise all men, just do it.
Just do it, yeah.
Don't argue. You will lose. And it will create a headache you're not ready for. Go get the Swedish meatballs. Call work, tell them you're going to be late. Vastly better than what I did. But yeah, it's a lot of being a fatherhood has been me trying to understand my wife better too.
Yeah,
because it's you think your world's turned on its head. It's from their point of view, they're the one growing the thing and they're having all their organs get pushed and squeezed together. Like human body's an incredible thing.
It's a wild ride. It's wild, yeah.
And yeah, and then obviously I tried to pinpoint when did she conceive.
Oh,
right?
Did you?
I tried to. It was the night that Zach played a show. You know, and my missus dressed up like like an emo chick.
Did she come with us to the show?
Yeah.
Oh, so it was after the show.
Yeah, it was the night that me and you and all that were like taking her into the mosh pit.
Deficit?
No, yeah, it was a deficit show.
Deficit. Was that the one like Jimmy was there?
Yeah.
The Halloween show.
Yeah, the Halloween show.
Yes.
It was Halloween.
I think Steph was there too.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the night.
Wow.
She looks really good.
She looked really, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and then fast forward 9 months and gave birth to a boy. And yeah, that was a wild ride.
So were you expecting boy or girl, or did you have preferences?
We knew.
Did you have preferences before?
No, I know the cliche thing is to say I just want a healthy baby regardless of gender, and it's I will tell you this though, when they said it was a boy, I nearly catapulted through the roof.
Yeah.
Right? And that's not because I don't like girls and stuff. It's just, if you're a man, you know that like you would like to have a boy. But again, if I had a girl, I probably would have had the same reaction. I don't know. Yeah. It's just, what I first thought when I was having a boy is like, hell yeah, I got someone I can play poker with. You know? I got all these hobbies that now he's also going to be interested in.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. Like he might not, but statistics would suggest that he's more inclined to like poker and drinking beer while watching, Joe Rogan podcast or whatever than probably a girl is. So yeah, I was excited for that. And then it was like choosing the name.
Right. So when he told us the name, I was spewing.
Yeah.
So we were at the
yeah.
So we were working the Tattoo Expo.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so he was helping us at the Tattoo Expo, and then he goes, "Oh, we've got a name."
Yeah.
And he said it to me and Steph, and I went to Steph. I'm like, "Fuck, damn
it's a cool name, man."
Yeah, I was spewing, but no, that's a good.
Everyone thinks Maverick comes from that movie Top Gun. Like disclosure, I haven't even seen the movies. Like I've seen bits and pieces of it. I probably should watch it, especially since I got a son named Maverick.
Yeah.
But no, it actually came from a poker movie about Maverick, and his name has escaped me. Mel Gibson.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And there's this famous scene in there where he doesn't look at his cards and he's betting like, untold fortunes on a hand, and he ends up having a straight flush. Statistically unlikely. It's especially if you don't look at your cards. I've watched thousands of hours of poker, never seen but anyway, it's a movie. But yeah, that's where it came from.
Ah, okay, yeah.
And then I wanted to choose a middle name in which Walter.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we, or I guess if you know, you know.
Breaking Bad. Cool name. Maverick Walter Wilcox.
All right, so I've got some questions I want to ask about fatherhood.
Yeah.
What was going through your head the first time you held your child?
Yeah, it's going to sound bad, right? I don't know if it's because I was tired. The birth lasted like a day plus.
Because she had a natural birth, correct?
Attempted.
Ah, that's right, yeah.
Turns out a 4'10" Filipino cannot give birth to a ginger baby.
Quite a large.
After the baby came out, after Maverick came out, I should say, it was determined that she was never going to be able to pass naturally.
Wow.
So it was an emergency C-section.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wasn't actually there for it. I wasn't allowed to be.
That's right.
Yeah, because it had to happen.
No, it wasn't COVID.
It had to happen so quick.
Yes, okay.
In the time that she was in the operating room, they needed to get him out straight away.
Yeah.
So there was no time to say, "Oh wait, get the dad." No, get Maverick out first. Worry about me later.
Did you get to cut the cord?
Nope. I wasn't in the room when he came out. Yeah.
Fine.
So I didn't. I've only ever seen videos of what a C-section looks like. I was never in the room.
Yes.
I was in the waiting room.
Fuck. Yeah.
I fell asleep on an old lady. Yeah, she was nice about it though.
She was nice about it.
Yeah.
What's the hardest thing about fatherhood no one warned you about?
People are going to say the sleepless nights and the worry about how you're going to fund everything and things like that. I think the hardest part, at least for me, is the change in dynamic of the relationship with your wife. Because it's no longer just you and her. It's you and her and your son or your daughter. And then getting accustomed to navigating that portion of it. And then also women go through a rather, tumultuous time during childbirth.
Right.
And then as, I don't know if a lot of people talk about it and stuff, but there is things like postpartum and stuff. And then it's very important to be there and understand. And I was vastly more stubborn and not as understanding or prepared to understand at the time, and then you work your way through that and being able to assist your partner through it better.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest challenge for me. Again, all these things are overcome. It's like trying to put your concerns to the side and focus on hers, and then from there things usually get better.
That's right. Yeah. It's all learning.
It's all learning. Like no one's a professional in this field, despite all the
books,
all the books, or even even parental advice. Because generation on generation, the raising of kids changes.
Correct. Yeah.
The expectations, the do's and the don'ts, they all change. In the '60s, kids were sleeping with sheepskins and stuff. You can't do that anymore.
You can't do that, no.
So it's just learning as you go, and everybody has the ability to do it. It's just whether they want to and are willing to invest the time and energy into
willing
doing
to sacrifice as well.
Well, that's a big thing, right? You need to put you're no longer the most important person in your life. You're like number 3. Right?
Exactly.
It's your baby, it's your wife, then it's yourself.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky, that's right.
And then that's what men need to do. You push your priorities back in order to propagate the priorities of the family.
100%. If you were gone tomorrow, what lessons about life would your children say you taught them? Well, I guess he's real young.
He's real young, so I might have to make a video quickly to leave. I don't know what I would want to tell people is it's very important to be as good as you can to people, but don't let them take advantage of you, because there are people out there that will. So it's hard, because I suppose I'm still trying to work out what I'd like to pass down to my son. I'd definitely like to pass on determination and willingness to overcome any challenges come your way.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. Accepting that if you are weak, you find resolutions to it, and if you're not, then find a resolution to your inability to find a resolution. Whether it's talking to somebody, I'm going to have to sit on that one. I'm going to have to think about an answer, because that's going to be an ongoing thing.
What's your favorite dad duty?
Favorite dad duty? That's a good one. You know what I really like? When Michelle wants to do something around the house, I take Maverick with me to the shops.
Okay, yeah.
He's vastly different with me at the shops than he is with Michelle.
He's better behaved.
He's much better behaved. Yeah. And I don't know what it is, if it's the feminine energy that throws him off and he knows he can throw a mark or what, but when he's with me, he's just this sweet little boy that wants to hold my hand.
Oh, wow, yeah. Wants to listen.
Yeah, when he doesn't, he wants to rip his and try running into an open car park. I'm like, dude, stop. I know you're not aware of cars, but they can hurt you.
They can hurt. What's one mistake that taught you the biggest lesson?
Arrogance. Pride. Yeah. I used to have a lot of pride. I used to think that, I was always making the right decision, that I always knew best. So, yeah, definitely pride. Pride has been my weakness. Yeah. And that's something that I've learned from is, trying to understand views from other people's perspective, even if it makes you uncomfortable. And usually there's a lesson to be learnt in that.
100%. What's your proudest dad moment so far?
Proudest dad moment? I guess when he said daddy.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, because it was, I guess, one of his first audible words. Because it was it just reinstilled to me that, I am a dad. And he realizes that I'm his dad.
Yeah.
Whether he did or he didn't, I don't know, but I'm claiming it.
That's right. Yeah.
So, that. And then also just seeing that he's growing up with a bit of a cheeky side and that he's always smiling. He seems to be a really happy kid.
He's very happy.
That makes me proud, because I was a happy kid, and we have similar, obviously, facial similarities as to what I was as a kid, just with my wife's dark black hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, seen his cheeky little grin, seen his attitude come through now where, he's been a little bit defiant and stubborn and stuff, and, it's interesting to see where it leads him.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything you'd like to tell, one last thing that you could tell, I guess, fathers, future fathers?
Yeah. Definitely do it. Don't put it, put it off if you're not ready for it. But if you're wanting somewhere down the line to be a father and you don't think you can, you can. Everyone, if I can, trust me, anyone can. And this whole Ink Dads movement is about. If you're a man that's going through things, and I myself, I'm prideful. I barely talk about anything, but find a small group of mates that you can talk to, that you feel comfortable. And if they're really your mates, they're going to listen to you, and they're not necessarily going to give you advice, because there's not always advice to every situation. But there is somebody out there that can help. But it's up to you to make sure that you get out and reach for that support.
Oh, you found the men's shed.
Yeah, the men's shed.
Men's
Yeah,
shed,
see,
yeah.
there's organisations out there. Like the men's shed's a great one. There's literally one in every town, whether you're rural or not. Like, and then the one that I go to, I only went there because I wanted to learn how to make epoxy resin tables.
Yeah.
You know, so I learned how to make an epoxy resin table, and then there's a lot of experience in these sheds because it's a lot of retirees. So that's a good one. That's a good one to go talk, and it's men. So you're talking about men stuff, and you're learning a craft at the same time. So that's a good place to start if you don't have anywhere to start.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, thank you so much, Lucky.
Thanks for having me, brother.
I appreciate it.
Cheers,
and
mate.
I hope you guys enjoy it.
Thank you.